Hi guys, welcome to tonight's Builders Call. Tonight we've got Liv Marriott on the call with us. So you would see Liv's name or her little image pop up on my pages. Liv does some virtual assistant work for our team. So I've asked Liv to jump on tonight and explain to you what she does for me, basically behind the scenes with the automation side of things. Some canned responses, which means that things are already pre-programmed, basically, and then you can click on them without generating them each time. You just add in what you need to, such as your passwords or your ID numbers for your new enrolment. So it just streamlines the process. It cuts down the amount of time that you spend at a computer, and it gives people the necessary information they need without all the rubbish, and it makes it nice and easy to duplicate with your team and your downline as well. So thanks, Liv, for jumping on. Now people will be able to put a face to the name if they haven't met you or seen you before. So thank you for jumping on with us tonight.
No worries.
So if you would just like to run through some MailChimp stuff. So generally people would use MailChimp for newsletter automation or getting out info to their new enrollees or to potentials. So I'm still learning the process of all these too, because it's part of my 80% that I get other people to do. So it's nice for me to get my head around these things as well. And also Gmail and like the Google Suite and things like that, just working out how people can set up some canned responses and using basically what we've already got too. So if you are happy to do that tonight, because we've got you girls now are starting to grow some really, really big, beautiful teams, and it's really important to start the process of duplication early and making sure that you're getting out the right information that is not overwhelming, but it's clear, it's concise, it's to the point, and what it does is empower your new enrollee to take on this as a holistic journey. So we want to give them the best start, and we want to make it really easy and streamlined for us as we're doing it. So Liv's just going to run us through that, and hopefully you can all see that screen that I can see right now. If you can just give me a little thumbs up or a yes in the chat box, just to make sure that you can see what I can see and what Liv has put up on the screen.
So you should be seeing MailChimp right now.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
All right.
Well, what I might start off with is Gmail, if that's okay, Erin. It's probably a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So we'll tackle that one first because, it's nice and easy. So I'm assuming that most people will have Gmail. It's kind of pretty across the board for everyone.
Not everyone has got Gmail as yet. So a lot of people were starting to look at MailChimp, but I've suggested to a few girls to start with Gmail for the automation, the canned response stuff.
Well, I'll keep it nice and brief then, because this will just apply to those people who do have a Gmail account. You may be able to do a similar sort of thing through other emails, but I'm not quite across that. I like Gmail for its simplicity. So what you can do is you can create canned responses. So what that basically means is you're creating a template, so you don't have to type out your email every single time. So this is a good thing to do for maybe a welcome email if you want to do a personalized welcome email, because most of the time we do pretty much put the same info in there, but we do just add our little tweaks to it as well. So the good thing is you can still customize the templates, but yeah, it's just nice and simple. So it's very, very easy. You just click on your little down arrow down here. I'm hoping you can all see that. And more options come up, and you've got your canned responses option here. Now you can see I've got some saved in here already. I don't use lots of them, but this one, for example. So all you have to do is once you've created the template, you just insert it and it pops up and it's there ready for you. So it's as simple as clicking on it. Now I'll show you how easy it is to actually make one. So
Gmail is actually a component of the Google Suites, isn't it? So people will have to actually open a Google account to access Gmail.
Yeah, so when you start a Gmail account, it automatically sort of sets up your Google Suite. So you then have access, like it'll link up a YouTube account for you and a Google Drive, all those sorts of things. So they're all definitely tools that are quite beneficial to your oils business, and it's free as well. So that's another good thing about it. You can get a paid version, but it's not really necessary unless you're really wanting to take things to the next level. The paid version is really just if you want like a customized email address. So instead of at gmail.com, it could be at livmarriott.com.au or whatever you've got your email address as. So the free version is fine. It's what I use majority of the time. So I'll show you how to create a template. So it's really super simple. So you just put in there whatever you want in there. So you just type out your welcome email, whatever the standard template is.
And you guys are more than welcome to use the template that I have sent out. So you're welcome to copy that basically and just make it your business name or make it add some of your personality to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's so simple. You just copy any templates that you've got or type out your own, whatever you have available and whatever you'd like it to be. So you pop it in there and then you just click on your little down arrow again. You go to your canned responses and you go new canned response. So then you get to title it. I'd just leave it as welcome or something, reasonably simple to understand what that's going to be. And so then it's saved there. And when you go back to your canned responses, it sits up there. Oh, gosh. And it's sitting there waiting for you. So you can just insert that and that'll insert it again. So it's very easy to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it, probably with the canned responses. If anyone does have any questions on it.
So with those templates, what you can actually do is edit each time that you, so when you insert your canned response, what you can do is actually edit. So you can write your ID number and then each time you can then enter that person's ID number and you can enter their password so that all you're really adding information-wise to that one template each time is their individual information. So if there's anything extra you want to add to it or that's specific to that person, you can without having to redo the whole template. So see how quickly you're saving a lot of time. So this will help your business long term. The other thing I wanted to mention was that the canned responses, what you can make up are things like when people ask you for information about oils. So maybe they want some more information before they enroll. So set up a canned response, set up a template that you can just flick off to each person that sends you that so that you are saving time and you know that you're getting that one response out to people. So you're being consistent in your response. And see, like Liv has got here, how you can purchase through your online office and things like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Erin was saying, if you find you keep getting the same questions over and over again, it's a great opportunity to save one of your responses as a canned response.
Yeah.
So then you can keep using it. And yeah, they're completely customizable. So we can go in and change whatever you want in there. So it's like you can do whatever you want. You can add in photos, you can add in anything. So yeah, it's super simple and it's definitely a really big time saver.
And you can add links to your groups in there as well, can't you?
Yeah, so you can hyperlink things. So let's see something that I can hyperlink. So I'll just cut that. So what you can do is you can add a hyperlink. You can hyperlink words. So you can say like, here, or click here or something like that, and then you just insert a link and paste it there. So it's a good way of tidying up your links, because some links, as you know, can be like super long and really ugly. So it's nice to be able to do that too. So that's something that I don't think all email platforms offer, but it's something cool about Gmail.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, that's how simple it is. Is there anything else you'd like me to cover on that, Erin?
Is there any questions about that, guys? Can you just either unmute yourself or pop that in the chat box and just ask any questions about creating canned responses or Gmail while we've got Liv here. So you can create those responses for anything. So maybe you want an LRP one, or maybe you want one. So maybe you have a welcome one, you have something about the Loyalty Rewards program. Maybe you've got one for any special promos for the 200 PV promo month that you want to send out. Anything like that, just to save you time. Think about in advance, and you could spend maybe an hour or half an hour just creating these templates that you will then be able to save and have long term, which will save you, like I keep saying, save you that time long term. But does that seem pretty straightforward, guys? I haven't got any questions there, so hopefully that's pretty straightforward for you. Carry on, Liv.
All right, cool. So just yell out if anyone does have any questions, but I'll move on to the MailChimp. So basically, MailChimp is what you would use if you're sending out to groups of people. Again, it's something that you can use it for if you're doing like welcome emails and things like that. But they're not quite so customizable. If you're wanting something automated, MailChimp is definitely the platform that you can do that through. So I do things on MailChimp like newsletters. So that's not something that's automated. That's something I create every month. But I do newsletters through there because they've got some really nice templates you can use. It's simply drag and drop, very easy. And I also have created quite a few either automated education sort of series or welcome email series. So they're all automated, and that's something that I love because I'm not someone who remembers to go in and click send all the time. So yeah, that's something that I really love.
And so you can customize when you want them sent then?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll get to that in a minute. I'll show you one of the campaigns that I have created. But yeah, it's also really a great program to use when you're trying to.
Josie's just got a. Oh, thanks. You can see that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So does their autoresponder come with the free account? So the automations, you can do automations through the account. It's not an autoresponder, but you can create it like an automated sequence of emails to go out. So when I say that, what I mean is like I have a welcome email, so it'll be like, welcome, you can find your logon details in the email that you've received from doTERRA, yada, 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 what goes in a welcome email. And then after that, maybe I'll do an email and it says, here's 10 things I love about lavender. And then a couple of days later, they'll get, this is how you clean your diffuser. And then maybe after that, I'll talk about co-impact sourcing and go to another oil, that sort of thing. So it's really great for that. And I know that once I've added someone to that sequence, I don't have to think about it again, but they can respond to those emails and they'll just come into your inbox, which is really handy. You don't have to worry about checking things on your MailChimp once that's all done.
Yep, so it won't respond to their questions that they ask. It will send out information that you have created in that campaign and send it out for when you want it. When they reply, it'll just go back into your inbox, and when you check your Gmail, it will be there, and you just answer them as they pop up. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that answer your question, Joyce? Yeah, you go.
Yeah, it would just come into your email inbox as it would a standard reply to a normal email you've sent. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty cool, I think. So what I'll do is I will show you one of the campaigns that I have created So this is an automated campaign, and I'll just go in and show you, and then I might walk you through how to do it in case anyone does want to make one quickly. It's not overly complicated. I do find MailChimp is sort of as complicated as you make it.
If you can really,
it's quite,
talk us through it from a really basic level, so that it's not feeling overwhelming, because I know that when we start something new, it can be very overwhelming for people, and when it's not something that we're good at, or it's not something that we're really interested in doing, like me, and we generally outsource, and it takes a bit to take it all in. So if you can just run it through from how to basically start from the beginning.
Absolutely. So I'll show you what the campaign looks like before I show you how to create one. So this is the welcome sort of series, which I am going to make a few tweaks to it before I open it up to everyone. But it is super cool, I think. I love that it's automated. So I'll show you
done.
Yeah. So this is the one that you've been receiving, Erin.
Yeah.
So it's only got you and me subscribed to it at the moment.
Yeah. So you guys will be able to use this for all your teams as well. So it's for all my downline. So you're all welcome to utilise this, and it will just really create that time saving as well as that empowering and that education for your new enrolments.
Absolutely. So what this one is it's just basically it goes through all the oils in the Home Essentials kit, plus wild orange, plus fractionated coconut oil, plus diffuser care, and some coin pack sourcing type stuff as well. So it's just very basic. It kind of goes through, I think, 10-way wild orange. It's got some pictures, it's got some recipes, it's got all that sort of thing. So it's quite basic. I don't like to complicate it too much. It's got the information that they'd need, and I'll show you that it goes out. So this one goes out every 2 days, I believe. Yeah, so I've triggered that one to go out every 2 days. So that's nice and gradual. I can extend it out longer than that if we need to, but I've just set it as 2 days because it is quite long. I think I've got 17 emails. So yeah, it covers quite a bit. It covers a lot of product, a lot of different things. So that's basically, all the emails look very similar to that one I just gave you a preview of, and they're all very similar layout and sort of information wise as well.
And by sending it out every few days to your new enrollees, that you start kind of drip feeding them that information, so they're getting snippets, and then they can put what they're reading into practice rather than overwhelming them all at once with certain information. And you're tapping them into your own private groups, and you're tapping into the main group, so they're just getting specialised or personalised information as well in their inbox. And great for those that aren't on Facebook too, that are just email, only have email or only go on online, but don't necessarily want to go on Facebook. So this is a great way to make sure that they're getting information and being connected to you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And with all those emails, I've tried to keep them quite generic as well. I mean, it's got the A Conscious Life logo down the bottom, but it's not referring to Erin the whole time, so you can rest assured using it. It's kind of more of a team vibe rather than just a personalized one. So I think that's quite good. Okay, so now I'll show you how to make an automated sequence. I'll just run through it kind of quick. But maybe have a pen and paper handy if you're a note taker. So the first step that you go to is you create your list. So what I like to do is create some kind of opt-in. If you are creating like an education series, I like to create like a little landing page, which can all be done in MailChimp, but it's somewhere where someone can opt into receiving these emails. So this is also a great tool for if you're wanting to do like a lead magnet, and it's a great way to build your list as well. So I've only got 2 lists set up for Erin, but eventually you do have quite a few once you start having all the different opt-ins and email automations, whatever you set them up for. But yeah, I do recommend keeping it as simple as possible. So we'll create a list. And you need to name it something that's quite obvious. So we'll just say we're doing another welcome email. So it sort of steps you through the process. I mean, you've just got to put in the details it asks for. Okay, so that's pretty much all you have to do, and I don't do double opt-ins, that's not necessary. And if you want email notifications, you can go ahead and opt into those. It's up to you whether you want a notification of the list. So basically what that is that you'll get an email every day as someone subscribes or unsubscribes to your list. So that's not really necessary. You can just log into your MailChimp and check that, but that's personal preference if you'd prefer that or not. Doesn't make a difference really to anything. Okay, so that's the list created. And then the next step that I do is create a sign up form. So it's just, here is the option, general form. So this is like your landing page. And so you get a URL for the landing page. And so this is it. So it's basically done for you already. All that's left to do is to make it a little bit prettier. So what I'll usually do is, instead of having it as the text, you can totally leave it as the text. You'd probably call it something a little bit nicer than that. But what you can do is use an image. So I create an image in Canva usually, and will upload it. So I've got some pre-uploaded in there already. So I'll just insert that. If you needed to upload a new one, the steps are pretty much there. You just click on the upload button and get it from your downloads folder or wherever your computer stores things. Okay, so that instantly makes it look a little bit nicer with the picture there. And so it automatically puts in for email address, first name and last name, and you can add in anything else that you're wanting to get data for. Because this is a welcome email, you wouldn't necessarily need anything else. But if you were doing, say, an education series or something where you're doing a bit of a lead magnet, wanting to get new leads, maybe you'd put a question there like, do you have a wholesale account or something like that, just to sort of, qualify your leads. And to do that, yep.
So, sorry, Liv, in this space here, this is where you would put your new enrollee's email address, their name and their first name and their last name.
Yes.
Yep.
So, but you don't actually do that in this step. This is just creating the form to be able to do that.
Okay, so you don't fill out those sections?
No. No, this is just adding in whatever data you want to collect. Okay, so we'll just leave it as email, first name, last name, but you can, actually I might add in an extra one so I can show you how to do that. So we'll add in check boxes. So you just select whatever type of question you want to put in there. And I'll say the question would be so obviously you wouldn't need to ask that, but this is just an example. Okay, and then your little check boxes drop down here. So you could ask a question like, would you like to receive my monthly newsletters, or would you like to, I don't know, whatever you'd like to ask. But that's just something that then you're collecting that data so you can use it later on. Okay. Now this is basically your landing page is complete. So what you would do is, if you ever need someone to sign up for this and you don't want to sign them up yourself, like in the back end, you can send them this link, or say it's for your newsletter sign up. You'd pop this on your Facebook page and you'd ask people to sign up for it. So I'll show you what it looks like. You just paste the URL to wherever, and when they click on it, it comes up like this when it loads. So it's just like a nice little form there.
Awesome.
So, and this is where people can opt into your offers, whatever it is. So, for example, I've set one up for Erin's newsletter. And when people want to sign up to her newsletter, so we'll start doing posts soon, promoting the newsletter and offering whatever, probably a free ebook or something for them to opt into the newsletter. So what they see is a form like this. So they'll put their email address in, their first name, last name, and I'll probably ask them if they're a wellness advocate already or something like that. So this is very easy. I'll put in oops. Okay, so they'll always have to confirm their humanity. It's just a little MailChimp thing, and it is good in a way because it means you don't get
spam.
Robots and things signing up to your list a million times. Oops, I just closed my MailChimp. Okay, so in here. So yeah, and then you can just manage your list. So the steps of setting up your list. So you need to create the list before you create an automation or even in the email, really, any kind of email, whether it's an automated series or just a newsletter template type email. So we've now got the welcome email automation list sitting here. When you click on lists, you see that automatically, and you can see there's one subscriber because I just went through and subscribed myself. Now, what you can do before you start sending your link out to people, you would want to create something that they'll actually receive. So you go in and you create campaigns. So the campaign is where you start creating the actual emails that are going to be going out, whether it's automated or a standard email. If it's something that you're going to be sending a lot of, but maybe you don't want it automated, you would create a template first. So yeah, I'll talk about templates in a minute, but what you do is you start by creating the campaign, create an email, and you can choose whether you're doing a regular or automated. So regular is what you would choose if you were doing a newsletter or something like that. And automated is what you would choose if you're doing a series of emails, or even if you were just wanting to offer a some kind of lead magnet where you're offering like a free download of an ebook or something like that, that's when you do an automated sequence, even if it's just one email. So what you can do is you can create that landing page. So from the lists section that we just created, and so you have an ebook and you're wanting to build your list. So we're offering this free ebook if you enter your details. And basically what you can do is you can set up for that ebook to be sent to them with an email, and it's sent instantly. So they can download whatever you've sent them instantly. And then they don't have to receive anything else if you're just like sort of building your list. But then what you'd do is you'd go on and you'd send them your newsletters and things like that. So we'll go and create an automated email. So it doesn't really matter which one you select. It's basically just the different templates that they'll show you. But I always just go welcome new subscribers. And I like to keep the campaign name the same as what I called my list. It's probably just something that I like to do. I don't know if everyone does it, but I just find it's a little bit easier to keep track of what lists belong to what sort of things I've created. Okay, and then we go and select. So here it says select a list. So you can't create an automation without sort of linking it to a list. You just can't do it. So that's why we create the list first. So we link it to the list. See, because they're all named the same thing, it makes it much easier. Then we go begin. And then it starts. So this is then where you start building your automation. Okay, so we've got here the very first email is the welcome email, and you start designing the email. So this is just naming your email. You don't have to worry too much about that. That's just for internal use only. I'll sometimes do like welcome-email1 or whatever it is, just for my own personal reference. And then you'll start with your subject lines. So obviously you'd create it to be whatever you want it to be. And emojis are always great in your subject lines. That's a little hint for you. People are much more likely to open an email if it's got an emoji.
Oh, really?
There's been lots of studies about it. I don't think it really matters what it is, but yeah, apparently it works a charm. Okay, so, and then you put in some kind of preview text. Doesn't really matter what you put in there, just be creative, but it is pretty important to put something in there. It looks a little bit nicer and it gives people an idea of what the email that they're receiving.
So you could put something in there to really grab their attention too, couldn't you? Because that's the first part that they'll see. So even, congratulations to making this step towards holistic health and wellness, or something that's going to grab them. Because often you'll get emails and you'll be like, oh, okay, but you won't often click on them unless they look really enticing to you. I know that I don't.
Yeah, you got to try and make it a little bit clickbaity just to get them to open the emails, because we all know what it's like. We get so many emails. You do want it to capture their attention somehow, and I think that's why the emojis really make a bit of a difference. But yeah, in your little preview as well, you do want to get creative. Obviously, don't write "here comes some awesome info on wild orange" because that's a little bit boring. But yeah, go nuts on that little section. You are limited on your characters, but yeah, get a little bit fun with it. And then you enter your from name. So you can have this as whatever you like, but that's what shows up as who it's from. So it doesn't really matter which email address you have here. So even though it's coming from Erin at aconsciouslife.com.net.au, we can have it here and it'll say from like call it the group name or whatever you want it to be. Yeah, and it sort of shows that rather than the email address, which I really like, because if I know I didn't like when I was just using a Gmail account, so like liv@gmail.com, I felt like, oh, I really want a personalized email address, but it didn't matter when I used MailChimp because I could make it look like it was sent from something else. So you can even put here, I don't know, whatever you want to put, you can put it there. Your doTERRA leader or anything like that.
And each of the girls have their own team names and things like that. So you could just add in whatever your team name is or whatever resonates with you, how you want to be portrayed, basically.
Yep. Absolutely.
Or recognise so that they know that when that email comes through, oh, that's from Danielle, that's from Josie, that's from Tammy. They know that that's who it's from, and that they want to open that email.
Yeah, absolutely. Personalize it. Go with your branding, whatever you've branded yourself as, and go nuts with it. So then we go next, and this is where we select our template. I personally don't like these top templates. I find them hard to design. Okay. I usually go with the basic templates, and I pretty much always will go with either this one column or a plain simple text. It's up to you how you like to do it. Design wise, I just prefer the one column because it's a little bit easier if you want to make any changes and things. You're not like restricted with preset text blocks or whatever. So I'll start with a basic template, and it's literally just drag and drop. So it pop here and you've got an image, so we'll browse, have pre-uploaded some images from the ones that I've created before. But if you needed to upload images, like obviously you probably don't have pre-uploaded images, you just click on upload and upload it from your computer.
So it's beneficial to have a Canva account, and so that you can actually create your own designs like you've done here, and like I do in Canva, and then you can just that then obviously saves to your desktop or saves into your file section of your computer. Then you just click upload and you find that particular that download that you've just created.
Absolutely. Canva is the bomb. If you don't have it already, you definitely should get it. It's so easy to create something really pretty like that. And we might get Liv to do another little webinar on Canva. Canva tutorial. But having a nice, pretty image really makes a difference when it comes to your emails. Maybe that's just for me because I am a real visual person, but most people will sort of think, oh yeah, that looks a bit more professional and nice. And you can always just put your logo or something up there too. That is an option as well, but I just like the banner style. I think it's much prettier. So then you go through and you add in your writing. We'll say that we've written something here. I'll just leave it as whatever text they've added in. Maybe I'll just change it. So you just go in and you add things. You'd use whatever template you've got. Okay, and then so usually what I do is I go through and I add all the info that I want, and then I go back through that text and I'll make sure all the formatting is correct. So as you can see here, the welcome to our team is much bigger than like the login and password section. Yeah, so I like things to all be the exact same font, same color, same size, everything like that. If you want something bigger, of course, leave it like that. But what you do is I always go through and click clear styles. So that gets rid of anything that's preset. So if you're copying things from Word or from the internet or whatever, wherever you're getting some content from, sometimes there's like preset settings in there with extra spaces, extra lines, those sorts of things. You just want to get rid of those. So you just hit clear styles, and then you start from afresh, and you'll change your font to whatever you want it to be. So you make sure it's all highlighted though, and you make all your edits over this side of the screen. So on the right side, I always get confused and try and edit over here, but it's actually on this side. And then you just change your sizes, make sure it's all the same, and then you just kind of move on. So it's really simple. You just keep going through and you add your different elements in. Again, we'll add a picture here.
So this would be really great, guys, for the promos of every month, so that you can grab your email addresses of everyone that's in your team, generate, like spend your half an hour creating each month's newsletter, and you can send out the 10% off oil for the month. You can send out the free product of the month for those on loyalty rewards, maybe a little bit about loyalty rewards in that, so that people that aren't on it get a snippet of it, as well as obviously doing your wellness consults. But it creates that info that you know is getting out to everyone, and maybe they've missed your Facebook feed or something like that, and just allows that monthly promo to be sent out. And logos and the 200 PV promo months, anytime that you want to really get into people's systems, into people's lives, creating this would be a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it so easy to communicate with people. Yeah, and it's sort of automated, you know, it's sort of, you do it once, but you can send it out to like thousands of people if you need to. So that's what I really love about it. Okay, so you just keep going through, and there's all these different things you can add in there. I'll show you how to add a button. So a button is something that I like if I'm, like, for example, if I've created another list where I'm wanting people to download something else or whatever it may be, you can link them to that link, or you can link it to like your Facebook page, or you can link it to literally anything you've got a URL for. So we could link it to the group Conscious Collective or anything. But for this instance, we'll add it in a file, because I've said here, download your free ebook. So we can actually link a file. It's not just to like websites, which is really quite cool. So you just click here and you can anchor it to a file, a link, or a email address or a web address. So you can put in if you want them to reply to an email to you, you can put in your email address, whatever it may be. But we'll do a file. And here I've got a file that I've already uploaded. I think it's one of the ebooks Erin's created. It doesn't tell me, but I know it's a file, so we'll insert it. But obviously go through and upload any new files that you need to upload that you're wanting to have on there. And then I will say, download your free ebook. And you can change all the styles, you can change the color and everything in here. It's quite easy. If you want it to be like smaller writing, you can do that too. Yeah, and then that's just basically a clickable button. And when they click on that, that will straight away download that file that I've anchored in there. So that's a file to an ebook, whichever one that was. I can't quite remember.
So the social follow there, Liv, so you can add in your Instagram, your Facebook links, your Pinterest links, and all those sort of things.
Yeah, you can do all that. So as you can see, it was already in the template right down the bottom. So it always pretty much is in the templates, but you can always add it on there as well, and you can add social share. So what social share is is they can share that newsletter or that whatever you've created to their Facebook or Twitter or whatever. So I tend to not put that in there because why would anyone want to share the welcome email? But social follow is pretty cool. Like you go in here, so you click on the buttons and you link them to your socials. So we won't do Twitter because no one really does Twitter. And then you just put in your Facebook URL, whatever it is. You can put in your website. So if that's your doTERRA.com, mydoTERRA.com, sorry, or yeah, whatever you want to put in there. And then you can put your email and you can just keep on add another service. And on here, you can select what you're putting in. So probably you can do YouTube, Instagram, any of those things. So you just keep going through and add in your URLs to those sites. And then you just save them. Yes. So those ones you just, when the person receives those emails, they're clickable buttons. So they can just click on that. So say they click on the email one, that'll generate an email to you. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then down here is just the part where it's all your copyright and everything like that. You can leave it like this. These are all tags and they're supposed to auto-generate. I actually don't trust it. I'm scared that I don't know how over it and just type in the information. So I'll do, so you can put your name or your company name, whatever you really want to put in there. I delete this section because I don't know what it is and it makes no difference. And then for the mailing address, I actually put my email address. Because I don't want people mailing me in the mail really. And I delete that bottom section again because it doesn't really make a difference if it's there or not. But you can't get rid of this unsubscribe part. So they need to have that option there. If you get rid of this, your email will get like rejected and you won't be able to send it. So you just leave it in there. I like to keep it nice and basic like this. And then you just go save and close. And then that's pretty much your email done. Obviously, you would not send an email like this. You'd have much more information. But you just click on save and continue once you're happy with how it's looking. And then so we've got our first email done. And then you can go through and if you know you're creating quite a sequence, you just go add email and it's the same process over and over again. And then once we're finished, so say we've created 10 emails or whatever we're doing and we're finished, you go save and no you don't, you go next. Please resolve issues below. Okay, so it doesn't like that I created an email and didn't do anything. But let me go back. Delete that one, so I'll show you that last step. So there's always that they like you to double check when you're deleting things so you don't delete things by accident, which is good. Okay, so we're complete. We'll go next. We're ready to have this automation as live. And then we go here and we just check all the details are correct. Yeah, which is fine. This one, for example, they're receiving it 1 day after they've joined the list. That's fine. I'll show you how to go back and change that if you're not happy, because you can make it so that it's immediate. And then the following ones, you'd probably say like a couple of days later or however you're, you know, whatever you're doing it for, you can decide. But here, this is where you change it. So you can click immediately. And you can also do here, trigger when subscribers are imported. I do recommend you click that, especially if you're adding subscribers yourself to the list rather than sending them the links. So sometimes if you're doing a big import and you're wanting everyone to receive your ebook or whatever, if you're wanting everyone to get it, make sure you tick that little box there. Okay, so we'll go next. And so that's sending immediately. It says that here. We're all happy with that. Start workflow. Okay, so we're done. So that one started. So then if we go in and we add someone to, well, I should actually start receiving that email because I added myself. So yeah, the automation starts and it starts sending that straight away. So we can see here, we'll check that list. It might not have, it's not quite straight away, like it takes a few minutes to think about it. But here we can check that out. So you go back to your list from your dashboard, you click on list, go to welcome email automation because that's the one that we're checking. And when you get to your list, it will show up with all of your subscribers. So you can go in and check on your subscribers, see what they're doing, check if they're opening their emails, that sort of thing. And once they do start opening their emails, they get a star rating. So you can see who loves your emails and who doesn't bother to look at any because their star rating starts to go up. And then we can click on the email address and it will show what's going on. So we can see the activity. 0 campaigns have been sent. So it hasn't quite started sending that campaign yet, but it will shortly. And it will tell me the open rate for myself and the click rate as well. So you can go in and check that people are clicking on your links, that they're actually opening the emails, all that sort of thing. So it's pretty cool. I might actually show you what that looks like to someone who actually is opening emails. We'll check out Erin, see how many she's been opening. So she's got 5 stars, so that's good.
I open most of them.
So yeah, we can see she's doing pretty well. We can check on the activity. 44% open rate. So she hasn't opened them all, but she's clicking on, a few links and that sort of thing. So we can go and check on everyone if you want to. I mean, it's not really necessary, but if you do want to check how well your emails are going and if they're converting and that sort of thing, you can go in and check all that data there. Yeah, so that's pretty much automations. It's not super hard. I don't know if maybe I made it sound a little bit hard, but it's pretty simple.
When you first open up MailChimp and you just think, where do I start? That's what I thought the first time I opened it. So yes, that's good that we've been able to go through it step by step because it can be really daunting for people when they first open up a system like this. And it's particularly if you're not either tech savvy or you're not interested in doing it or haven't previously been interested or never really tried to. So
absolutely.
But once you know, and it's then it flows from there. So, anyone got any questions about any of that? If you want to put it in your chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask. But this is a really great thing to start implementing in your business, even if it's early on in the business, so that you can, 1, save time, 2, empower your new enrolments, and 3, get out the education that you really want that's duplicatable for your downline as well, and what everyone is getting and they're getting the right info. Maybe you do a series on the emotions oils or the mood management oils, or once you've done the top 10. Now, Liv, did you want to show everyone how they can access the top 10 ones?
The one I've created?
Yeah.
Yep. So what I'll do is I'll actually post all the links to the different ones that I've created. There's really only one that's fully set up at the moment, but I'll post them into the business mastermind group. So that the link is there. So what I won't give you all access to Erin's MailChimp, but what I will do is give you the link so you can opt your people into the lists.
And there's just a few. I think there's just a few things that needed to be changed on
Yeah, there is. There's a couple of things. So I won't post it just yet, but in the next few days I'll have that all sorted and it will be ready for you to use. So I'd recommend opting yourself in. So start looking at them all yourselves so that you know what your people will be getting if, in case any questions come in or anything like that. And yeah, maybe let them know before you opt them into it too. But it is something that's cool to let them know when you're enrolling them. Hey, we'll send you some emails and it'll go through the top 10 oils or whatever. You know the drill, but just let them know, and it's, they'll be looking forward to it that way. But I'll share the info for all of that in the group, so you'll have the links and everything all ready to go. I'll show you the templates. So the templates is about the only other thing that I use. So basically what you do is you can set up a template for something that you're going to be doing repetitively. So if you're doing a newsletter quite often, so here I've set up a few different newsletters. They're all the same template really. So you only need to do one. So you'd set up like a newsletter template and you'd go in and you'd put like placeholders there and things like that, just so that you have the same look and feel of your newsletter every single time you send it. Because I find that consistency is key really. People like to receive sort of similar stuff all the time, visually anyway. I know I relate to it a lot better if I recognize it. So you just create your little template however you want it to look. You go in, and again, I've used Canva to do some little banners and things like that. And you just add in whatever you want to add in. So like a recipe, like a roller blend, a diffuser blend, and sometimes I'll put in a recipe as well. And you can put in upcoming events. And yeah, that's just put in whatever you want and you create the template, and then it's easy. So say I sent this newsletter last month. It's very easy to go into this template again, make the changes and update it to wild orange or whatever we're doing the next month. So yeah, it just keeps it nice and consistent. So yeah, basically you just create templates for whatever you're going to be doing regularly. Maybe your newsletters. What else would you do regularly?
What do you mean by that, Dan? Can you add fields to your emails to pick up member number and password off the initial setup?
No. I can't see the questions any other areas. I don't get that question.
No, it's come to me. You can unmute yourself, Dan, if you want to. No? You there, Dan?
That's okay.
That's okay.
I understand the question anyway. So with that, no, you can't. It can't like automatically populate the member number and things like that. What I've done to get around it is I've said in any that I've created, I've said something like refer to the email you've received from doTERRA for your member number and login details, because I believe they get an email with it on there anyway. So yeah, you can't really, it won't automatically populate those in there because they're very separate systems.
Yeah, but in your first welcome email, you would enter in their ID and their password in your very first one.
Yeah, so what you can do is you can set up your Gmail canned response to be your first welcome email. And then what you can do is let them know in that welcome email that I'm going to send you through some more emails in the coming days about the remaining, the top 10 oils or whatever. Yeah, and then they just start receiving it after that. Or you can even give them the option to opt into those emails if they want them, by leaving that link to the list there. So remember, when we first set up that list, you can use that link and just pop it in there and say, if you're interested in learning more about the top 10 oils, click on this link and add your details to receive more.
If they're anything like me, then I'll just bypass that link. So I'd be more inclined to just sign them up, just subscribe them to the series, and then you know that they're at least seeing you in their inbox every few days. Because it's so easy for people just to scroll past links too, I think. Yeah. So I would just say set them up, get them subscribed, and then they can see that you're sending them info every few days, and then it's not overwhelming them either in one big lump.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's probably one of the best things to do if you're not wanting to set up your own automations. If you're just happy to use the one that we've set up, you can definitely just make sure you create your little canned response in your Gmail or whatever program you're using, and then go ahead and just subscribe them to the one that we've set up.
Yeah, excellent. Did you want to show us anything else, Liv, or that pretty much covers it?
That's probably about it. That's mostly the functions that I use. I absolutely love the automation. That's been a bit of a game changer for me. It saves so much time, because it takes a while to set it all up to begin with, but once it's done, and it's fantastic. Like, there's no more forgetting to send emails for like weeks at a time. So it's brilliant. I can see there's a question.
Yeah, I'll stop the recording now, and so if anyone wants to ask questions, they can unmute themselves or put them in the chat box, but I'm just going to stop the recording. Thanks, Liv, for sharing with us that tonight. It has been great, and like I said earlier, these are the stuff that are outsourced to you, so I also needed to get my head around it, so that I can have some input in it as well. So I found it very, very easy to follow, and then we've obviously got the recording now that we can keep watching over again, and you can pause it and you can do things as you go. So I just really wanted to give you guys this insight, because I know a few of you are starting to do these sort of things and had questions, and I know it can be really overwhelming, because it can be overwhelming for me too. So it's good to have someone who understands this side of it and loves it, like Liv, to share this with us. So thanks, Liv, for jumping on and doing that with us.
No problem.